Welcome to Time's Dark Mysteries, where we uncover the most bizarre and forgotten chapters of history. Today, we're diving into a conflict so strange, it sounds like a joke. But it's all true. Australia's Great Emu War of 1932, where humans took on an army of birds and lost. It's 1932. The world is reeling from the Great Depression, and Australia is no exception. In Western Australia, struggling farmers are trying to make ends meet by growing wheat. But there's a problem. A big, feathery, unstoppable problem: emus. Around 20,000 emus to be exact. These large, flightless birds migrated inland after their breeding season, and their chosen path, right through the wheat farms of Campion, Western Australia. For the farmers, it was a disaster. The emus trampled crops, ruined fences, and ate what little wheat they had. Desperate for help, the farmers turned to the government, and that's where things took a wild turn. The farmers pleaded with the Minister of Defense, Sir George Pearce, who, surprisingly, decided to take the emu invasion seriously. After all, Australia had a proud military, and what better way to use it than to protect its own land? From birds? Armed with 2 Lewis machine guns and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, Major G.P.W. Meredith of the 7th Heavy Battery of the Royal Australian Artillery was sent in with his men. The objective was clear: reduce the emu population and protect the crops. But what sounded like a straightforward mission quickly turned into a farcical campaign. The Great Emu War officially kicked off in November 1932. The first skirmish took place near the town of Campion. Spotting a group of about 50 emus, the soldiers set up their machine guns. But the emus had other plans. As the soldiers opened fire, the emus scattered, running in every direction at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour. They were too fast, too agile, and too spread out. The soldiers managed to kill only a handful of emus, while the rest vanished into the bush. Attempting to regroup, Meredith's team tried a different strategy ambush. Over the next few days, the soldiers continued their assault, but the emus proved to be surprisingly strategic. They would split into smaller groups, making them difficult targets. At one point, Meredith tried mounting a machine gun on a truck, thinking mobility would help. But the truck couldn't keep up with the birds, and the rough terrain made aiming nearly impossible. The emus were outsmarting the humans at every turn. After nearly a month of skirmishes, Major Meredith reported that his team had expended 2,500 rounds of ammunition, but had only managed to kill around 1,000 emus. That's about 10 rounds per emu, hardly efficient. The mission was deemed a failure, and the military withdrew, leaving the emus to roam freely. The media had a field day. The Great Emu War became a national embarrassment, and questions were raised in Parliament. One politician humorously suggested that medals should be awarded to the emus who had won every round so far. In the end, the government turned to other methods, like bounty systems, to control the emu population. While the farmers did eventually get some relief, the Great Emu War remains a quirky chapter in Australian history, a time when the military lost a battle not to another country, but to nature itself. Today, the emu is a protected species in Australia and even appears on the national coat of arms. They remain a symbol of the Australian landscape and a reminder that sometimes nature fights back in the most unexpected ways. Thanks for watching Time's Dark Mysteries. If you enjoyed this dive into one of history's strangest conflicts, hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what other bizarre stories you want us to uncover. Until next time, keep exploring the dark corners of history.